You're watching What You Want, and we're very lucky to be joined by Miss Stacie Orrico here in the studio in Australia. Now, I mean, you must be really used to the whole celebrity thing. Was it something that was hard to get used to?
I honestly, I don't know that I can say I'm fully used to it. I feel like it's, especially for me growing up in like as normal of a home as you can possibly imagine and not being raised in the music industry. Well, I mean, I was signed at 12, so I sort of was, but up until that point, it's not like I was from this big industry family.
Right.
And it still feels really unnatural to me. But I think that also for me, you know, I've never been driven by the whole celebrity aspect of things. Like, honestly, still to this day, there's nothing about like, oh, at the end of tonight, there's like this huge party that P. Diddy's gonna have, and there's gonna be a red carpet, and you know, and I can go and like get the paparazzi. It's gonna be there, and you know, it's like, if I can stay away from that as much as possible, I'm much happier. Like, I would always prefer to be at home with my family, like eating popcorn, watching 24, you know, having marathons of some terrible TV show or something.
Being normal, so to speak.
Yeah, so the celebrity thing's a little crazy. But
yeah, because you've managed to stay under the radar in terms of like scandal and like, I mean, you see Paris
I'm not interesting
every day.
No, I always tell people that. No, I'm like, I don't cause enough drama.
No.
I know, or it's not that I don't cause drama, I just don't do it in big cities.
Yeah, well, do you think that certain celebrities kind of pursue that? Like they, you know, kind of on purpose put their lives out
absolutely.
there?
And I think, I mean, that there's a balance, because I think that there are some people who, just because of how massive they are, they're under scrutiny no matter what, even though they are trying to live their lives as normally as possible. But there are some people who complain about the paparazzi, and I'm like, I'm sorry, if you weren't hanging out at those parties, being seen with those people in those settings every night of the week, then people wouldn't care about you. I mean, I live in Seattle, Washington, and I could go out running down the streets naked, and you would never see it in the tabloids, because people
why not in Australia?
Well, I don't do that, but
Have you heard the song by Mike Skinner, the one about how it's tougher to pick up famous chicks, and it feels like when he wasn't famous? Have you heard that song?
No.
It's a song saying how like, oh, it's really hard picking up a famous girl when he's famous as well.
Interesting.
And it feels like
easier
back when he wasn't famous. Have you ever found
I bet that's true, yeah.
Have you ever found it tough to maybe, you know, chill out, chat and tune a famous boy?
You know, I've never dated anybody in the entertainment industry at all.
That's not what we want to hear.
And I honestly, like, and it's not, I'm not totally closed to it. It's not like I'm like, oh my gosh, I never would, because never say never, who knows?
Right.
But it's not been like a goal of mine. But I can see how I'll even find myself, let's say I'm backstage at a show, and let's say Mariah Carey was walking by or something, and she's not somebody like I've spent a lot of time with. I don't know her. As an artist, on one hand, you feel like, okay, I could go and say hi, and she wouldn't think it was as weird as like a fan because you're like a fellow artist. But then at the same time, you sort of understand what it's like for people to feel like they can use their position to have a reason to talk to you when you sort of just want your space. So a lot of times it makes you even stay off more, because you sort of understand. You're like, oh, just give them their space. So yeah, it is kind of a weird thing.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want to talk to Mariah Carey. She's crazy. She's a nutball.
Stacie Orrico's hanging out with us on What You Want. This is the new album, Beautiful Awakening. We're going to be chatting some more, so don't go anywhere.
But right now,
it's time for Habboland.
Habbo clip. You know what Habboland is? Your little Habbos?
I have a Habbo.
You have a Habbo?
You're in the Habbo Hotel.
I'm in the Habbo Hotel. I've got my own little Beautiful Awakening room and my own little character.
No way.
And everything. Yeah.
So you guys have to try to find her in the Habbo room.
I
but
haven't
right
been
now,
on for a while though. So.
Well, James, one of our presenters on the show, has got a little Habbo as well.
He does.
And this is him chilling out in Habbo Hotel.